Hello students, welcome back to this online teaching platform, Divine Public School, Monapur, Gorakhpur. Today we are going to study class 10th, subject English, book First Flight, poem number 2, Fire and Ice. Dear students, before going to the text, let's know about the biography of the poet. Robert Lee Frost was one of the most important American poets of the 20th century. He was born in San Francisco, California, to journalist William Prescott Frost, journalist, and Isabel Moody. He was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetic works and also won the Pulitzer Prize 4 times and was asked to deliver poem at President John F. Kennedy's 1961 inauguration. He died of complications from prostate surgery on January 29, 1963. Now, my dear students, let's go through this poem and try to understand the theme and symbol of this poem. First, look at the title, Fire and Ice. You know, fire stands for passions, desires, and love, anger, aggressiveness too. And ice stand for hate. Okay. So this is a lyrical poem, and the theme of this poem is age old question. The question is whether the world will end in fire or in ice. The poet decides that any of the two options would achieve its purpose sufficiently well. The poet shares the common belief that everything that exists will have its end too. People are divided on this issue. Some think that the natural element of fire will cause destruction of this world. Other, others people believe that ice will be the cause of the end. So try to understand the poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire, but if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Now, in the beginning line, you can see some say, and in the second line, some say. That is anaphora, figure of speech. And the word will end in fire. Here, fire means excessive passion of great avarice, conflict, and fury. etc. Now, my dear students, let's know the paraphrase of this beautiful poem. It's a beautiful and meaningful poem. Frost raises question about the fate of the world. He wondered whether this world is likely to be destroyed by fire or ice. Some people say that the world will end in fire, but some others say that it will end in ice. He come to this own he come he comes to his own conclusion from what he have tasted of desire. So sorry, he holds with those people who favor fire with its great flame to burn down the world. But if it had to perish it twice, he thinks he knows enough the potency of ice to create destruction. Ice is also great, and it would suffice to freeze the world until it would be no longer lives at all. Now, my dear students, let's discuss about the symbolism used in this beautiful and meaningful poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. The opening two lines of the poem present a very distinct dichotomy between fire and ice and the two groups of people, one believing that fire will destroy the world and the other believing that the ice will destroy the world. So, we must be dealing with symbols. The poet presents only two options which will destroy the world, though the poet uses the personal pronoun I for the speaker. He has used some for the people to present it as universal statement. Literally, fire and ice are both ways that the human species could be extinguished. After all, the world can't end in ice and fire at the same time. Ice and fire also represent two extremes which, on a grand enough scale, could cause immense damage and are fitting metaphors for harbingers of death. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Frost does not go to a deep extent with the scientific beliefs, and he introduces his personal emotional sides. His desire with the fire and hatred with ice is obvious here. He has experienced desire, a hot emotion, so he thinks fire will end the world. He knows how powerful it is. The word tasted implies that he knows a little about it. A connotation of desire is hot because it relates to the body. For example, love is warm and fuzzy, but jealously and desire can get out of control. Moreover, the fact that he has had personal experience with both in the form of desire and hate, reveals that fire and ice are not mutually exclusive, as the first two lines of the poem insist. But if it had to perish twice, the idea of the world ending, it means perish or perishing twice is a paradox. It seems that fire wins over ice thus far. I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great. The speaker was sure that he has tasted desire, but he thinks he knows enough about hate, a cold emotion, and he knows it can destroy. It is clear that desire is associated with love because its opposite is hate. You may think that hate is hot, means fire, because it is related to anger. But perhaps the speaker is talking about slow and deliberate anger. The phrase also great does not tell us how ice compares to fire. We cannot say that ice is more powerful than fire. In fact, though the narrator first concludes that the world will end in fire, he ultimately admits that the world could just as easily end in ice. Fire and ice, it seems, are strikingly similar. Now, my dear students, let us come to the conclusion. In Fire and Ice, Robert Frost wants us to know that fire describes as passion, which is hot and hasty, and ice describes as rational, which is cool and deliberate by using figurative language like symbolism. We know that we must read the poem repeatedly to really have a deeper understanding of the poem. So, this symbolism analysis can help us to achieve that. So, my dear students, I hope that you have understood the poem and you will go through the poem and you will have good benefit. Thank you and thank you for watching this video.